Vell Institute, a 501c3 nonprofit, began in 2014 with a mission to strengthen the future of veterans through leadership and entrepreneurship training. We've invested over 1,400 hours of training in our veterans while connecting them with community entrepreneurs and leaders. Our mission is to continue investing in our veterans who have given so much for our country. Please join us in our mission by visiting vellinstitute.org. That's VELinstitute.org.
Hey, this is Lo with Soul Harbor, and you are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe, and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com. You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio here at irlonestar.com, worldwide, and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. This is Dick with Mornings at Lone Star. If you hear me right now, that means we are live, because it is the 1st of October, and I have a special guest musician in the studio, so you can watch us on our YouTube channel, Facebook, and stuff like that. Join us right there. We have Jonathan Moody, who is a local person, I would call him, but he also plays all around the country, and he's going to be hanging out with me this morning. So if you have any questions for Jonathan or anything, feel free to leave a comment or whatever. They'll also put the links for Jonathan for our social media, so if you really enjoy his music, you can listen to it on Spotify and all that kind of stuff. So Jonathan, dude, what's going on, man?
Man, good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Can you get that mic a little closer, please?
Oh, yeah, sure. Do I need headphones?
You don't need them.
Nah.
I like to look like I know what I'm doing. You look like
it looks nice.
Yeah, you already.
You're like, I don't know what's going on. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, the funny story about I just want to make sure you're talking to the mic because you're gonna be singing for us a little later. And
I got to back up for that. I'm pretty loud. So.
Yeah, I have one guy in here. He was sitting, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then when he performed, he stood up. And I go,
all guitar, huh?
Yeah, and I go, well, the microphone's right there. And I look at him, I'm like, whatever, dude, you can do what you got to do. But I'm grateful that you're in today because I think one of your partners reached out, and you're a local guy, and you've been traveling, and so we finally got you in the studio.
Yeah.
So I got to ask, because I've been listening to a couple of your tunes. You are on Spotify and iTunes and all that kind of stuff. So just look up Jonathan Moody or Jonathan Moody Music. That's your main handle on the internet.
Yep, Instagram. Yeah.
And you got a single out and all that kind of stuff, or your website tells me. Sometimes I hate asking those questions to artists because most of the time artists aren't in control of their website. So you're like, I got a single out? Oh, great, yeah.
I forgot that was coming out. We've actually been releasing singles every month this year.
Okay.
Which is kind of the new way to do it.
I feel like that's what it is.
It's like, how often do you go to the store and buy an album? You're kind of...
True.
Most people are... people still do it. But for the most part, people are streaming songs and they're clicking and they're listening one song and hopefully they'll listen to the rest. But
well, let me ask you this as an artist: what do you consume in that regard? Because what I like about today's world is you're able to take a song and then you can ask the program, hey, what are similar things to this?
Pandora's awesome.
And so, Pandora's got it down.
Yeah.
Because my buddy has Pandora, I have Spot. We all work together, depending on the situation. And Pandora is our go-to for working outside. It's just put it on Pandora, and we don't have to touch it.
It's amazing. It knows exactly what I like.
Oh, it's crazy. And then if we want to listen to an album, a new album comes out, we go on Spotify.
Right.
And then just play the album.
And also, Pandora's great for musicians. Amazing for musicians.
Oh, yeah, because you get discovered, dude.
Yeah, exactly. And people I've never heard of, this song comes on, I'm like, what is this song? This is amazing. And I look it up, I'm like, I've never heard of this guy. Let me go listen to what else he has.
Yeah.
Or she has,
And then they're like, this guy sucks.
Next.
Well, I always wondered about that, especially because how long have you been an artist?
Oh, man. I've been doing it professionally for 16 years, 17 years.
Because I feel like when you hit the 20-year mark, people get embarrassed of their early year stuff.
Oh, I'm already there.
Yeah, and it's they have to reevaluate. People... We've been on the internet for 50 years. They're going to find me. I got to get rid of this stuff because it's terrible.
We got to scrub.
Yeah. Oh, no, I think the new thing now with musicians, they just re-record it.
That's a good call.
So it sounds better,
Yeah.
or is produced better or whatever.
There's some that just sometimes
terrible.
I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have recorded that ever.
Yeah, especially if you change genres. Like I always wonder, like, because I don't know I don't know Garth Brooks, but I know if I was like a uncle or like a cousin of him, I would give the Gaines guy so much stuff.
Oh yeah,
Like Chris Gaines or whatever he tried to do.
Yeah,
I'd be like, "What's up, Chris?" Like no one's gonna forget that.
I know. I think he should have named it like Zarth Shooks or something.
Yeah, well,
like
it should have just been Garth Brooks. And like, let's rock.
Or that's true. You don't have to change your name to change genres.
Well, I mean, that's what blew my mind. Because like, see what I love about that too is I already know if I was his like nephew, for Halloween I would dress up as Chris Gaines.
Absolutely,
because he had like the soul patch. I'm telling you, man, that'd be hilarious. And he would probably hate it. He's like, "Why did I ever do that?" And
I wonder how he feels about that.
Well, yeah, because he took it so serious.
For sure, yeah.
Because it's one thing to be like, "Oh, this is a parody," but
it was.
He was serious about it
for sure. I mean, he's obviously super talented, so like he could do whatever genre he wanted.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Just stick with the name.
Yeah, exactly. Garth Brooks.
Because
like
on the
icon.
Well, now on the other hand, imagine if he was successful in that.
Right.
And it like in a weird world, he became bigger as Chris Gaines.
Right.
And then it's
like, I'm really Garth Brooks.
Yeah, but like, who's Garth Brooks? Like, we don't know who that is.
Wouldn't that be a different world?
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a stupid move. I don't know who told him to do it. Just say your name's Garth Brooks, man. Like, you can.
You've already established your business pretty well.
Oh yeah.
I would say at that point. Well, like look what Post Malone's doing. I mean,
I don't
Post
even,
Malone went country now. Like,
I'm not gonna lie. I never really listened to Post Malone.
Yeah.
And because he's like a internet person to me, like he has the clips and everything. I never like sat down and listened to his music. And what's funny to me is every time I see him, I go, I think this guy just likes to have fun. Like I don't think he really cares.
That's awesome.
He's just like, hey, I'm just gonna hang out here. I'm gonna play this music around these people. They like country music, so I'll play country music. Oh, these guys like rap music. I can do that. I'll play some rap music.
Yeah. And he's doing really well at that, and he's super talented. Actually, I knew him as like kind of a rapper.
That's what I remember. That's who he was. And then
I heard him do a cover of Bob Dylan, and he was like finger picking on the guitar. And I was like, wow.
Oh, he's a musician.
He can play.
Oh, great.
Like he's legit.
Well, see, that's the unfortunate thing. If you become a rapper, there's really not an instrument assigned to a rapper.
Not often.
You don't think of it. It's like, oh yeah, he's a classical piano player. You didn't know that about Snoop Dogg? It's like, yeah, because he plays the piano on the stage all the time. But so that's the unfortunate thing. If you choose to be a rapper, like no one really knows how talented you really are.
Right. Which is rap is already hard.
Yeah.
I do a few like cover songs where I like rap at the end of it. I mean, it's not great.
Well, actually, every time I like talk to a rapper, I ask how their memory is.
Oh, it's got to be phenomenal.
It's got to, yeah, because I always imagine if you're doing lyrics and then, because your music is lyrically based, like that's like the foundation of it. And I'm like, if you're singing 15 songs at a concert, I don't know how you can do that.
And it's not like you're singing and like you're like.
Oh, there's no chorus.
I mean,
there might be a chorus, maybe.
But, yeah, and you're spitting them out quick.
No. See, I go, well, the real strategy, and no one knows it. That's why you just appear on other songs, and you just have like one section of the song, so it's easier to remember.
I could be the hype guy in a rap song. Maybe.
Well, yeah,
that does
baby
every
steps,
other word.
Baby steps, yeah, baby steps. Because you don't really see. Because back in the day, that's like the Biggie area time. That's when they had like 20 songs to an album.
Yeah,
and they remembered all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And I'm really impressed by that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, no. So I love like I was a big Tupac fan. Like, people wouldn't guess that.
Well, no,
but
I mean,
I actually cover part of a Tupac song. Sometimes.
There you go.
Like, I mean,
do you remember the words?
Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard.
It's really hard to like play the guitar. Maybe that's why rappers don't play the guitar.
Well, yeah,
rap, because it's really difficult.
Oh yeah,
I can do like part of a verse, like a mini verse,
That's what I'm saying. That's why they make it work somehow. And I'm always impressed by every rapper I meet. I'm like, so tell me, like, are you have like a picture memory, or is it like how do you remember? Is that why people smoke weed? It like cements into their brain better while they're like memorizing. It'll never leave them. Well, because certain musicians are like that. Like they haven't played the piano in 20 years, and then give them an hour on it, and then they're almost back. So
just like riding a bike. But hard. Yeah. Way harder.
Because you've been playing, like you said, 16 years, right?
Yeah.
And your music, like, how would you say it's changed over the years? Because you've always been playing the guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always acoustic. I have never owned an electric guitar. Like always an acoustic guitar. So I started in San Antonio actually, and when I was playing the bar gigs and restaurants, and I thought, because everybody was requesting Texas country, so that's what I was learning. I was learning what all the people were requesting. So I thought I had to be a Texas country artist.
Well, that's what Post Malone's doing.
Yeah,
He's like, where's he living these days?
Right,
That's
exactly.
the music I'm going to play.
And then, so that my first EP was kind of more based on what I thought everybody else wanted me to do.
Yeah.
And all of my new stuff it's all over the board. I don't know what to tell people my genre is.
Well, I guess today it's almost your reputation is based off your live performances.
Yeah.
Because that's where most people are like really referring music to people.
Yep.
Unless you're on like an ad for iTunes.
Right.
Or something like that's the only real way. Like you're in Call of Duty and you're like, oh, I know that guy. So
that's what I need to do.
Well, no, actually, no, it works though.
Yeah.
It's weird because like I remember when I was younger, FIFA was like the greatest game, like Tony Hawk and stuff like that, and they had great soundtracks.
Oh yeah, they did.
So when you go to like out in public and you hear it, like I actually know who this is because I literally listened to it 1,000 times while playing Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
And it popped up, didn't it?
Yeah.
It said you who it was and told you who it was and what the song was called.
Well, I'm talking about if I'm out in like at a bar or like at a club or something, and I'm like, oh, I actually know this song.
Yeah. Oh, Tony Hawk.
Yeah. And people are like, oh, where'd you hear him? Oh, Tony Hawk, dog.
I love that game.
I
forgot about that game until you just said that. I was like, that's a great
how can
game.
you forget that? But no, that's where a lot of music, I like Grand Theft Auto, another great example.
Yeah.
There's a radio in the game,
Yeah,
and all
true.
those songs, it's like, I'm never going to forget these because I had literally listened to them 1,000 times. Not because I wanted to, it's just that's part of the game. Yeah.
If you wanted to get in the car, you were listening to the song, you know.
And then they go see you live.
Yeah.
So right now, I looked at your website, and you kind of you're doing the corporate gig kind of thing right now, which tells me you're a good musician.
Well, thank you.
Because people like that, they put a value to that, and corporate gigs are really funny to me when it comes to being a musician or like a comic or something like that. Because the organizer of those events doesn't really care. They're just instructed by the CEO. It's like, you need to put some entertainment on there and make sure they don't suck. I mean, really, because
Exactly,
that one guy or girl's in charge going, I'm going to get fired if this party doesn't work out.
If it's really bad, they're like,
yeah. So
sorry.
they go, we found John. And they're like, we're good. I'm not going to get fired this time. So that's good, right? You have that reputation. That's what you should tell people in your corporate gig pamphlet. You won't get fired hiring me. That's what.
That's a great slogan.
Yeah.
That's a great.
Well, no,
a great
I always
slogan.
love that because, like, there was one time you'll love this. So, I went to his fundraiser, and there was a stand-up comedian going to be playing, and the fundraiser itself was like a Las Vegas theme, and whoever was in charge made the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. So you have this room, this comic's about to go up, pretty well-known comic, and then they're like, "Oh, hey, by the way, the casino's open." So what do you think everyone went like?
Ding 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 ding.
Yeah,
ding.
they went to the casino, and this poor guy is just sitting there with maybe one person. And I don't know if that person was part of the fundraiser. He might have been working there, and he's like,
man.
finally I don't have to deal with these people. I'm going to sit down and just... And I'm sitting there going like, man, that kind of sucks for this guy. But he's getting paid, so...
Exactly, same amount.
Yeah.
He didn't get docked, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
no. But it was just funny to me. I was like, these corporate people have no idea sometimes.
You know, my band and I have talked sometimes that we've joked that we've never done this before, but we should like just detune everything during sound check and just be like horrible.
Yeah.
just for like 30 seconds, be like, we're just kidding.
Yeah.
just see what the plan would be like,
again, those corporate people
terrible
are so
idea.
serious, though. So like,
no, we would never do it.
people would take great offense to like, oh, this is terrible. And then they get upset. And that guy gets fired because you played a joke.
Yeah, I won't do that.
Yeah. No.
We've talked about it. We do a lot of things we don't. We talk about what we're not going to do though. So
Oh, we got to plug these in? Oh, forgot about that. Sorry, guys.
I totally forgot my guitar. Not cool, Jonathan.
I thought you invited me to hang out, not to play.
Oh, we needed a guitar backline. I thought that was in my rider. No.
Yeah. I love it. But you have plenty of music available, so if people want to listen to your album, Spotify, iTunes, just look you up. And you're going to be playing around here. You do live around here, so I imagine once a year you're going to play around here somewhere.
I'd like to play more around home.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, you have a 5-month-old who's
Yep.
our studio audience today, and your lovely wife.
Yeah.
So
it's Ben and Gabby over there, and they get to come with me a lot. He's already been on. He'll be on his 15th flight tomorrow. He's 5 months, so.
how does that work? Do they have like baby seats?
No, just lap child.
You know what I love about that is you know how much money they put in safety on airplanes, and then it's
We've
like,
talked about this.
and then you're sitting there going like, "There's a baby. What do we do with the baby? They just hold it. Just hold it.
It doesn't need a belt.
So it's like they don't do that in a car.
No.
So yeah,
It is pretty interesting.
It's
isn't
funny.
it? Yeah, for landing.
There's something they're not
hang
telling
on tight,
us.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
There's turbulence. Oh man, just hold it up in the air and then it'll throw up everywhere.
yeah, we've talked about that. We're like, that's very interesting that there's like no, especially here. I guess in Europe, they require them to be buckled in,
But not like in the seat, as in like a normal person.
Yeah.
Even like a 5-month-old.
Mm-hmm.
They can't even sit up on their own.
Yeah. Well, they have to be in a car seat, I guess. Yeah, or like a belt. Yeah, just like the belt over them to make sure they don't fly all over the cabin. I guess.
So next time you're in Europe, take a picture of that for me, and be like, she's secure, he's secure.
Yeah,
and it's like,
ish. It's like
this baby, like, what's happening?
He's not gonna go up.
Yeah. That's funny, man. It's funny. Well, yeah, because you really do play outside of Texas a lot.
Yeah, more out of Texas than I do. I just was in Chicago. Where was I last week? Sometimes I land and I'm like, what city am I in?
Oh yeah, I get that.
I'm like,
I just do that. I'm just lucky I wake up in the same bed. If I didn't wake up in the same bed, I'd be like, who am I again?
who am I?
Yeah.
No, I was just in Chicago, and then I was in Atlanta. Outside of Seattle, up in Brewster, Washington.
Like
North
how does
Washington.
that happen? Like, are you just that well known?
The internet's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
It's really opened up a lot of doors for musicians like me.
What does that mean? Like, because you don't, like, if you didn't have the internet, you would just be in a garage still?
I mean, you either get discovered or you're playing locally, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine how hard it was, like, before all of this to, because when I first started, I started in, like, 2008.
Yeah.
And so we didn't have as many resources even then. But now we have so many resources. The internet is such a great place to get connected, and people. It's so funny because like people are like, "Oh, do you live in? Are you based in Chicago?" I'm like, "No, Texas." And they're like, "Oh, we thought you were based in Chicago." I'm based wherever I am that day, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I've been home for maybe 8 days the past 2 months.
But you also have your family with you the entire time.
Yeah.
which
Well,
is nice.
not all the time. They travel with me probably half the time.
We'll wait till he starts playing baseball or something. And he's like,
yeah.
Dad, I want to play baseball. I don't want to go with you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Unless he wants to play drums, and then he'd be like, "Hey, I'm coming with you, but you're paying for it."
Well, you get paid.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
right?
Has there ever been a band like that?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, like, because for example,
Like family bands?
Well, no, I know family bands because they started out as a family band, but I meant more of like, oh, you're a traveling musician, and now my daughter's 13, 14, and she's actually a really good drummer.
Yeah.
And so it's like, hey, just come with us.
That'd be kind of cool, right? Just having kids training them to be your bandmates.
Yeah. That'd be kind of wild.
You're going to be a drummer.
Yeah. I
You're
can
going
see
to play
it.
bass.
I'm tired of my band. They don't know that yet. They're gonna be replaced by my family.
You're going to work for much less.
Yeah.
Room and board.
And then you're gonna be on VH1, like behind the music or whatever. Do they even still do that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
They should. It was great.
Is VH1 still even a thing?
Man, I don't even watch TV anymore.
Yeah.
I'm streaming.
Well, you're moving all the time.
Yeah, I'm watching Netflix in hotels
So.
though. That's my thing.
And that's when you're riding all the time for your music. You're just
Yeah, normally I'm so busy. Like I'm like I fly in and I'll explore the city or wherever I am and do some hiking or wherever. If I'm in Colorado or Pacific Northwest, I'll go hiking. And like in Chicago, I think I walked like 9 miles the other day just around the city. I love like walking and exploring.
I agree with that.
Yeah, so I'll normally write when I'm in nature.
Okay.
If I'm hiking or if I'm on a ski trip or like, I have to be outdoors to really get inspired to write.
Yeah, because I always wondered that about artists, or especially singer-songwriters, because you would consider yourself a songwriter.
Yeah,
in,
for sure.
in your brand or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, singer-songwriter is a pretty good description.
Yeah.
When people ask me what my genre is, like singer-songwriter, but it's all kind of all over the board.
But if we can have a 5-piece band.
Yeah, 9-piece.
You have a 9-piece band?
9-piece with horns, like sax, trumpet. My bandmates are way better than
No
I
wonder
am.
you play for corporate. I bet you're so much fun.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a blast. And my band is awesome. Like I brag on them all
How'd
the
you
time,
find
but,
them?
You know, it's interesting. So I have bandmates all over the country. So I have them in New York. I have them in LA.
So I'm talking about the 9 people, or 8, I guess, including you.
So sometimes it depends on where I am, which guys I'll use.
So you have like a Rolodex.
Yeah, like of just unbelievable musicians. So I've got like for instance, Lauryn Hill.
Yes.
So her sax player plays with us up in DC when we're up there, and the fiddle player who actually recorded on half the album, he plays with me up in the New York and DC and Philly area. He's recording all of Taylor Swift's new albums, and
So what happens?
killer band.
All right, let me ask you this: what happens if you go on tour? Like somehow you're involved. Like someone asks you to be on tour with them. You got to pick them now, right?
Oh, it's so tough.
So what happens? Like it's like you're playing a ball, and then you got the B team, and now
See, 'cause
now the
they're
A team's
all-
going pro. So we
Because
got
they're
to.
all A-team material.
Yeah, I know,
and
that's
that's
what-
the
that's-
problem.
I wonder about that.
Trust me, I've thought about that because that's kind of our goal right now. Is
Oh, you don't have like the blacklist or whatever that no one knows until it's like the red folder. It's like, all right, we're going there.
Oh, there's the
list.
there's the special forces coming in to play for
Yeah,
that gig.
it's like
there.
we need you. Yeah, because the wonderful thing about music is always changing, and the band stuff is always an interesting story because it involves human beings,
Right.
And then like the evolution of a band, and then because I always love the stories of people growing up as a band, and then they slowly deteriorate, and then it's
Yeah.
like when they become famous. There's always that one guy who used to be the bass player, 40 years ago,
and they're like,
he missed
I used to
out.
play for them.
It's like I shouldn't have slept with the lead singer's girlfriend. Dang it!
That was a bad business.
That was a
move.
bad move.
I lost a friend, but more importantly,
Yeah, I lost a lot of money.
yeah, I all of them are A-team material.
Yeah.
But I do have a core band, I do have some go-tos.
Well, 'cause I wonder because, like you said, you're a singer-songwriter, and I can't imagine you doing it all by yourself when it comes to actually writing the music. Now, the lyrics, maybe, but when it comes to writing the music, it's always good. Always imagine it's good to have someone who's in tune with you.
I need to do more co-write stuff.
Yeah.
Because I do come up with like all the melody and the
Yeah.
guitar but once it gets in the studio section, that's when I do get on like GarageBand. I'm not an audio engineer or I'm not that great at it.
You don't play every instrument. I can't believe that. What kind of artist are you?
I know,
dude?
slacker one. Just guitar.
Yeah.
No, but I have like a MIDI keyboard. I mean, I can,
Yeah.
I can make string sounds. I mean, it sounds terrible because it's so fake.
Well, it's all
sounding,
you're
but-
just setting a bass, and then
Exactly.
then you get a professional in that does
Yeah,
it, and you're
this
like,
is what
hey,
I
you're
want.
an actual drummer. All right, you
Yeah.
you show me what you think.
Yeah, let me the smart drummer on GarageBand
Start
tell
it.
you kind of what I
Yeah.
want, but make it look
There you
real.
go.
But yeah, that's so we actually recorded half the album up in the Seattle area. Ryan Hadlock, he's actually the producer. He produced like the Lumineers, Ho Hey album, Zach Bryan, Something in the Orange, Vance Joy, Brenda Carlisle. So he's awesome, and he brought in some great musicians. So Macklemore's violinist came and played, and he actually arranged
He's a
the strings.
violinist?
Yeah, he kills it. It's
Okay.
unbelievable.
I never thought Macklemore having a violin.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, yeah. That's one thing I always wonder too is like the producers because it reminds me when you're in a certain job and they have like shop talk. So when you're dealing with like an actor, somehow they know like every name of producers, every name of casting directors, and it's just like they just know.
Oh yeah.
And I always envisioned what a producer for a musician would be like, because you just said all these names, but totally different music.
Yeah.
And and it's like, how hard is that guy's job? I wonder how hard like actually producing Zach Bryan's album is, because I feel like Zach Bryan kind of does his own thing.
Yeah,
You're just there to push record, kind of thing.
And then like, hey, try this. Like a good producer lets you be yourself, but a better version of yourself. You know
what is it? Who's that famous producer who has crazy hair? He did like System of a Down, and then I think he did like Madonna. He's like the crazy hair, it's the crazy beard, like Rick.
Rubin.
Rick Rubin?
Yeah.
Is that it is?
That's right.
I was listening to an interview, and he basically, I kid you not, goes, I don't play any musical instrument. I don't know anything about music. Like I don't know.
He's like mega.
But and they're like, so how are you so good at your job? He's like, I think I have great taste. That's literally what he said. And I was like, that is the most ignorant but also boss thing to say.
Awesome.
Because
I don't know anything about music.
I don't play any instrument. I don't know anything about the piano. I don't know anything, but I just have great taste. So I just, you know how it is.
That's kind of awesome.
Isn't that crazy? Because you worked with producers, and sometimes like you connect with people, and you're like, all right, now we're working well here.
Yep.
So he's had like huge success in it, to the point where people consider him like a guru.
Yeah, for sure.
And
for sure, he's huge.
But can you imagine being a serious artist where you're a technical guy, and then he's like, oh, is that a C note? No, I don't know what that is. Well, you're speaking Chinese to me right now, guys. Does it sound good? It sounds good. You're good.
Whatever that note was, play it.
Play it. I like that one.
That chord, that sounds good.
Yeah. Interesting. I always love those kind of stories, because again, producing to me is like, because we produce here, and I listen to people, but then it's kind of like, when does the input really take place from the producer's perspective?
Yeah.
So,
I would say a good producer still lets you have your sound and be you, but it's cool because like it'll be like, hey, sing this note up instead of down, or up, or stay straight on that note instead of going down or up, and it's small details like that I feel like, or hey, instead of having like a 4-bar instrumental break, just go right into the next verse, or so it's stuff like that makes the song flow better, or I think that's like one of the most helpful things that for me, my experience, that the producer kind of takes like those little, because you can't go in there and be like, I kind of have a song, but can you help me finish it?
Yeah,
it's not really like that. It's more of like, hey, you need to have it pretty well like laid out. And then before you get in the studio, I mean, I'm sure there are producers that will do that, but that's not
especially
how
with band producers who they only have like 2 bands or 1 band.
Right.
He's like the main guy.
Right.
And he's been with them for like 50 years, and it's like,
Exactly.
I know what you are. I know you guys. Like, you're literally twins. So
yeah, I mean, so Ryan Hadlock was awesome to work with. He's a genius. He does great work, and it was awesome. It was a great experience. We were up in Seattle. We actually stayed in the studio. They had like a cabin, and they had like a loft with several bedrooms.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
That's how you should do it.
Yeah, it was almost half a month that we were up there doing that, and it was so much fun. It's something I'll never forget. It was really fun.
Well, you gotta get the work done. That's the unfortunate thing about being a musician. It's like, how do you set them down and let them focus on this?
Let's focus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know this is cool.
Yeah.
But then we did the rest of the album at Orb Studios with Scott Graham and Austin.
Okay.
And I'm super thrilled with that. He was awesome to work with. I got very lucky. I had some really awesome people to work with. So.
Okay. Well, let's see how awesome you really are, though. You want to play a song?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Definitely.
Well, guys, Jonathan Moody's in the studio live. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook if you're listening in. And, take it away, man.
Well, this one's called Gypsy Soul. This is the title track. So the full album's coming out in December. So it's going to be titled Gypsy Soul. And I wrote this song while I was in Colorado, up in the mountains. Shocker. But I'm traveling all over the place, and sometimes it's hard to find where you belong. And kind of the vibe of this song, though. Crossing state lines, losing my mind. Maybe the next town I'll call home. lived in the country, moved to the city. The crowded streets just feel so alone. God rest my gypsy soul. Let the angels put my demons on hold. Lord, unto the lies I've been told. God rest my gypsy soul. Past in the rear view leads into a breakthrough. The view through the windshield feels like a dream. Mile marker countdown led to this mountain town. The air in the Rockies so easy to breathe. God rest my gypsy soul. Let the angels put my demons on hold. Lord, unto the lies I've been told. God rest my gypsy soul. God rest my gypsy soul. Let the angels put my demons on hold. Lord, unto the lies I've been told. God rest my gypsy soul. God rest my gypsy soul. God rest my gypsy soul.
That was Jonathan Moody live in the studio. That was great. Gypsy Soul, actually, that song is on Spotify to let people know if you like that song.
Yep. That's the non-horse version.
Oh, great excuse.
Constant travel and lack of sleep version is on Spotify. That was the horse, more raspy version of it right there.
I liked it.
Hence my tea and honey right here.
Okay. Well, I'm not singing, so I'll try to occupy people's time while you do that. But but no, that was a wonderful song, and when you play your music, that's one thing I always enjoy is you have like your acoustic versions and then you have your band versions. Mm-hmm. How can you tell the audience what's the different vibe you give off depending on the song or who's with you on stage?
Yeah, it all keeps a little bit of the same vibe, but then I always say we do this. I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But then every piece adds something.
Yeah.
Drums adds like a little more. It makes you a little move, and then you add like a fiddle or a lead guitar, and like every piece adds something. You bring in the bass, and like you have all the low end filled out, and I'm doing the exact same thing, but then it's just every piece just brings a new dimension to it. So.
Okay. Well, this is going to be a real random question.
I love those.
So I was talking to my buddy yesterday. We're having a conversation, and we're talking about the sexiest instrument, right? So, like, what is the sexiest instrument out there? And, saxophone, all that kind of stuff. And then I was like, we were like, what's the most unsexy instrument out there?
Oh, man, that's...
And the only thing I could come up with was the organ.
The organ.
Because you got to go to a certain place to do it, and most places that have it, you can't see them play it.
Interesting. Okay, yeah. It's like an unsung hero kind of.
But then everyone associated it with a Phantom of the Opera, and somehow they find that dude sexy, even though he's like missing half a face. But what do you?
Oh man, that's an interest I've never thought about.
Because there's got to be an instrument that just look funny. Yeah, it looked funny playing it.
I feel like the didgeridoo is pretty hard to look cool playing the didgeridoo.
Well, I feel like if you saw that people be amazed, like, what is that coming from that?
Like bagpipes.
Yeah,
Bagpipes
bagpipe.
are
You don't
not
think
super sexy? Maybe.
you don't think so?
I mean,
Like
I
the
think
tuba,
they sound cool.
The tuba
The
looks
tuba
kind of
is
funny.
pretty-
Like it's kind of funny with your cheeks. That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, the tubas. Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah, and
I
it's
think
very
the
big.
cheeks, the hamster.
Yeah.
Move. Maybe that's.
There's got to be another one. I wonder what. Well, what is that weird electronic one that it's it doesn't actually have strings, but you like wave through it. You ever seen that? Because it never sounds good. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what it's called.
It's yeah. Is that really an instrument? Maybe
I want to say. Well, they tried to make it in the
Yeah.
80s. Definitely, they tried.
What is that?
Because you can like wave through it and it makes
What
like
is that
weird
called?
noises, but like it doesn't look sexy because you don't really know if it's talent or not.
Like,
You're just waving your
waving
hands
around.
through stuff, man. But
I
yeah,
like that. That's a good. I've never thought about the least sexy instruments.
and like the triangle, that would probably be on there
Because
because you're not just banging away. Like you have that one moment and then that's it. Like you're good for the next 2 minutes. You're good for the next 2 minutes. Or it's like that guy in the symphony that has like the one drum that's only played for like a couple hits.
The gong or something.
Yeah,
like.
it's like, man, look at that guy, that
That's
girl.
an easy
That's-
job.
Yeah, it's,
But if you mess up once, that's it.
yeah, but no one would really know.
But they would.
Like that. Let me tell you, that song was missing that one gong.
Or if they hit the wrong, if their timing is
Yeah,
off on that
that
one
would be pretty-
gong.
That would be funny though, but not sexy.
Not for them, yeah, but not sexy.
But not sexy.
Yeah, I actually have thought about that. I was like, wow, that's an easy job, but not.
No.
No, because if you hit that, you have one chance.
Well, the sad thing about that is, I bet that person is actually a good musician,
Absolutely.
but he wasn't good enough for like first chair, and so he just kept getting moved back.
get demoted to gong.
And then it's like, we got this song has a gong. You drew the short straw, but no one really drew other straws. You're the only one that's got to go over there. Because Mike's definitely got first string. It's
You're
like,
on gong duty.
You're on gong duty. Oh yeah, that's
That's a band name right there.
gong duty.
Yeah.
That must be good. I like it. But no, that's that poor soul.
I need a gong in my band. Is that?
You think
I
so?
think that's what's gonna happen now.
You think so?
No,
Okay.
probably not.
Post Malone will probably put a gong in his song. Knowing that guy, I feel like again he just likes to have a good time. He seems like
Yeah.
he's bored.
He could throw a gong up there.
Yeah,
He can get away with it.
yeah. Not you though.
No, I can't
No.
get away with it. No,
I love it.
I don't think a gong would belong in Gypsy Soul.
Okay. Hey, well, let's talk about Jonathan Moody Music. You have social media, so we can tell the audiences like they follow you on social.
Mm-hmm.
Is it you doing it, or is it the baby? Which
the
one-
baby?
is it the baby?
The baby would probably do it better.
Yeah?
No, I'm involved in the social media stuff, but I do have some help. So.
Okay. Do you like that kind of stuff?
Social media?
Well, I mean, like, because you post your tour, you post your website and your music, because that's like a no-brainer, and like you probably make music videos.
Yeah.
Which has got to be fun for an
That's
artist.
a blast.
And it's there forever. That's one thing I like.
Yeah,
and then
that's cool.
except for that one lady who made that Friday song, I bet she doesn't like that at all. But what's her name? Rebecca Black? Is that her name?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do. Yep.
That's wonderful. But no, because you almost create this persona on social media, and then it's just more in depth with an artist. And when they meet you, they're like, oh, this guy's a jerk. He's not nice.
Yeah. No, I'm really bad about. That's one of my weakest spots, and that's something that I need to get better at is social media and
Is it?
posting more.
Is it?
Posting more? Yeah.
Is
letting people in on me, I guess.
Do they really need to know
No.
Jonathan Moody?
But if they want to, then
I want to
should-
see you play, but outside that, like, I don't
Yeah.
care what kind of fertilizer you use on your yard, dude.
I don't use fertilizer.
Oh.
No, I'm pretty lazy.
Yeah. Well, you're traveling all the time.
Yeah, unless I'm gonna get home.
No, you could post the pictures of the babies and seatbelts. That's
There,
right.
yes,
That's
on the European
yeah.
flights.
No, on everything. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, she's good. He's good. He's good. This is safe.
No, I yeah, I try to still stay genuine to who I am on social. Yeah. Just like, but that's one thing I definitely want to get. I need to post more. I mean, I just had a song release a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I didn't post about it, and that's terrible. That's pretty awful because there's 100,000 songs a day getting released on
Yeah.
Spotify, and yeah, I've just been so busy that I forget to promote
Well, because
myself.
that's the unfortunate thing with the new world is you got to be doing something every day on that. Because I imagine when you release the album, you have like a strategy of, oh, these are our 3 singles that we're going to push to radio or push for people to rediscover us. And then after that third one, you're like, let's start working on the album, the next album.
Yep.
But now it's like you can just release the whole album one song at a time.
Exactly.
And there you go.
But you got to tell people you did it.
Yeah, true.
That's a big part.
Well,
of it.
at the beginning of every song, just say your name a bunch of times. Right?
I'm Jonathan Moody.
Yeah.
Check me out on Spotify. And then
Well, I mean, that's what Mike Jones did.
Yeah.
Like his most famous song is he says his
I'm
name
Mike
like
Jones.
1,000 times.
That's true. I need that song.
Yeah, you need
I'm Jonathan Moody. It's harder though. It's a lot of.
You
more
can make
syllables.
you can carry a tune. I don't think Mike Jones can carry a tune, so you can make it like last longer in the lyrics.
I think that's a good call. Maybe
yeah.
I should make the Jonathan Moody.
That
song.
I'll produce that song for you.
Yeah. All right.
Just
It's a pretty vain song, isn't it?
and then at the very end of the session, I'll be like, Jonathan, have you thought about changing your name?
Not now.
We gotta make a song that fits the name.
Oh yeah, no, it's that is one thing that I need to be better about is I'm terrible at self promotion.
Yeah, well, everyone
Um,
is because you're a fake humble person. So that's the problem. You gotta get over that. Stop trying to be a fake humble person.
Fake humble
just,
person.
Yeah, just sell yourself. It's okay. I think it's show a little skin, Jonathan. Come on, dog. Just wear bike shorts when you go on stage.
I want to get hired back.
Yeah,
That's
no, you don't think the bike shorts?
I don't think spandex at a corporate event.
I thought you said this guy was a singer-songwriter country. What is he wearing all this stuff? That's great. I love it. But yeah, so
man.
you guys check out his music. I put the links to him. He's right below on the description. He's on Spotify, Jonathan Moody, just Jonathan Moody Music. And he's a local guy, so you might be seeing him around here. I wish you safe with you and your family, traveling for the next couple gigs. And yeah, that's it for me. Like, you got anything else you want to share?
I hope to see more of Texas because I'm never home, and so I'm hoping to be more around here playing some.
Well,
playing some
Texas
gigs,
is pretty
so
big.
Come out when I'm here. Please.
Well, guys, you've been listening to Mornings of Lone Star here at Lone Star Community Radio, irlonestar.com worldwide. This is Mornings of Lone Star. We'll get back to the music. We'll see you guys later.
There are over 153 million orphans in the world today. The